Hey, beautiful people. I'm having a good makeup day today, so I figured I need to make at least one video. If you're not following us, yes, because I only have 47 followers, but I have not been consistent here on YouTube. Subscribe so that you can learn more about estate planning and probate and why it applies to you and everyone you know. So for those of you who are owning a business, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you are a doctor or lawyer, and most doctors and lawyers, such as myself, we have our own business. What mechanisms do you have in place for your business to either wind down or pass on to the next party? Yes, naturally, if you are an attorney, you can't naturally pass it on unless you have some children that followed in your shoes. But are you aware that when you pass away without estate planning in place, that your assets, your beneficiaries, and their location become public record? That's right. Remember, you can go online and look up everything Chadwick Boseman had in his estate. Why? Because he had no estate plan. He did not have a trust plan to keep his assets private. So you could just type in Chadwick Boseman, including Rob Reiner, which I'm going to talk about next time, and learn exactly what was in their state and what their challenges were because they did not retain an expert professional to keep their assets private. So if you are a business owner, wealth over $1 million, you might want to consider a trust so that you can wall off your assets between your personal life and your business so you can protect yourself from lawsuits. If you want to avoid 40% taxes on your assets, then you want to set up a trust plan. I had an estate not too long ago that had to pay literally $40,000 in taxes because of the amount of time it took to close out the estate and the lack of cooperation from parties. $40,000. By the time that estate was closed, the heirs will only receive roughly $40,000 from an estate that started out at a net worth of $200,000 after all the debts were paid. So again, you want to put a trust in place so that you can have privacy, because within 48 hours of filing your papers in probate court, those who survive you, they will be prepared to file in probate court. Within 48 hours, investors will, they have people who go through the records and they'll start calling your heirs, offering to buy their property. And if you know what I know, most of your heirs will say yes. They will say yes. Why? Because they didn't have to financially invest in this property, and any cash they receive on something they did not have to pay for is a benefit to them. You can avoid that by setting up a trust. So you have the privacy, then you have walling off from the lawsuits. You have who's going to wind down your business and set it up and transfer the assets to your heirs, who's going to continue to collect your outstanding invoices, pay your debts, continue to pay your employees. What are the plans for your minor children if you have children that are under 18 years of age? What about the new sunset rules as a result of the big, beautiful bill? And I mentioned privacy and taxes, we already talked about. So you need to check your planning and find out if you are protected for all of those items. And if you are a business owner and you have a will, I guarantee you that will is probably 10 to 20 years old and you have not looked over it since you paid an attorney or used your unreliable online service. So don't forget to subscribe below. For Graham Estate Planning, I am Stephanie Graham of Graham Estate Planning. We are located in Atlanta, Buckhead. However, we also take cases in New York, and we're also licensed in New Jersey, though I probably shouldn't mention it because we do not take cases in Jersey due to their brick and mortar rule. But we plan to obtain licenses in other states because we're just challenging ourselves. Have a good day.